Through 73 games, if you don't think that Pete Crow Armstrong is unanimously the NL MVP, I'm sorry, you are off your damn rocker. What's up, everyone? I am Kyle Stanley. I am a raving Cubs fan. And yes, a little bit biased about Pete Crow Armstrong, but good God, if you are missing this guy's season, and if you think that Shohei Ohtani, Corbin Carroll, or anyone else in the NL is above PCA, you're going to learn today. You are definitely going to learn today. I mean, after another amazing night against the Brewers, where he not only made what probably was a game-saving catch at the time in the 8th inning with a one-run game, ended up all the way over in left field, for God's sake. And then literally 3 minutes later, on the very first pitch, does this. Hits a 452-foot absolute bomb, ironically, off of the scoreboard part, the Brewers scoreboard part of their lineup. I mean, this guy is just so much fun to watch. And he said after the game that it wasn't more adrenaline, but come on, Pete. Like, after a play like that, you know your adrenaline is up. Anyway, by the way, the whole point of this is not to talk about the Brewers game last night. The whole point is to convince you that PCA is unanimously the NL MVP, and there's no doubt about it. And I'm going to do that by bringing up a lot of stats and a lot of things, especially from Cubs history, that just makes this guy's season seem incredibly, undeniably so stinking special. If you like this video, subscribe. If you agree or disagree, make sure you comment, and let's go ahead and get to it. Now, first of all, the most important stat of all is that he is leading the NL in F4 at a 3.9. Now, Shohei Ohtani is very close in second behind him at 3.8. And especially with Shohei starting to pitch again, you could see the F4 start to take over. Now, there's been comparisons about PCA and Shohei Ohtani in regards to the three facets of the offensive game: the hitting, the base stealing, and then, of course, PCA adds the defense, but Shohei Ohtani isn't going to play defense, but he is going to pitch. In this situation, PCA has been doing all three all season long at an elite level. We'll get to the glove here in a little bit. But from an offensive standpoint, they're both very similar players. And so similar that we're going to talk about a stat in regards to Shohei's 50-50 season and compare it to PCA's here in a little bit in the video. But so far, PCA and Shohei, you could say, are neck and neck in those categories. In regards to the third part of their game, PCA is running away with it because he defends, and he defends at the probably best level in baseball. Argue with me if you think I'm wrong, dare ya. And then now that Shohei is going to be pitching, I could see him taking a lead, but he didn't look very good in his first outing. And you know that Dave Roberts doesn't want to see his best hitter go on the sideline because of a pitching injury. So for that reason, he's probably only going to be a 1 or 2 inning guy to start out here. Now, let's get into some other stuff. Since 2000, and we're going to do a lot of Cubs specific stuff here. However, there's some MVPs that we talk about in these groups. And for that reason, you should absolutely have an open mind about this translating to PCA being a MVP. Since 2000, only 7 Cubs players have had 19 home runs in their first 73 games. Only 7 in the last 25 years. And of course, Sammy Sosa did it 5 times. Then you have Patrick Wisdom, most recently doing it in 2023. Not going to talk about MVP status there, but other guys: Anthony Rizzo twice, Wilson Contreras, Chris Bryant, Alfonso Soriano, and Derek Lee. That's some great company. Next up, stolen bases. The most stolen bases through the first 73 games since Juan Pierre in 2006, and he only had 1 less than Juan Pierre. Currently, he's got 23, and Juan Pierre had 24. Combine those two together, he has the most home runs plus stolen bases in the first 73 games in Cubs history. Sammy Sosa did it in 1995, but wasn't even close to PCA. Did it, meaning he was close, but not even close, really. 16 home runs and 15 stolen bases through his first 73 games. Again, PCA has 19 home runs and 23 stolen bases through his first 73 games. Sosa was 3 behind in home runs and 8 behind in stolen bases. Now, you might ask yourself, well, Kyle, I thought you wanted to convince us that this is all about PCA being an MVP of the NL, but you're only talking about Cubs stats, well, here's the thing, as we see some of PCA's biggest moments on camera here. Stathead, you guys got to get your game together, because whenever I input some stuff, we get that spinning wheel of death for a while. So this is a call out to Stathead, because these are where all these stats are coming from. And a lot of the Cubs based stuff, easy to find, still takes a little bit of time to actually load up. But in regards to all of MLB, a lot of this stuff never ended up loading up. So for that reason, Stathead, please get your stuff together. I would love to share more stats if the site worked properly, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Let me know. All right. Next stat that we're talking about. At this point last year, Shohei Ohtani had one more home run than Pete Crow Armstrong and 7 less stolen bases. That's right. The only 50-50 player in Major League Baseball history just had one home run more through his first 73 games and had 7 stolen bases less than PCA did through his first 73 games. Let that sink in for a second. Now, what's he on pace for? That's a question that everyone loves to ask. Well, he's on pace for 42 home runs and 129 RBIs in regards to the stolen bases. He's definitely on pace for well over 50. I don't have that in front of me, but I know it's over 50. So if you are on pace for a 40-50 season, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, this guy is not a whole lot bigger than me in regards to size. He's got a couple inches on me, but it makes me wonder about what life route I took, because good Lord, this guy doesn't look like a home run hitter. He looks like a stolen base guy, but he is defying everything. All right, let's go to the next one. He's the first Cub to have a slugging percentage over 500 while stealing at least 20 bases in his first 73 games since, drum roll please, Frank Chance in 1904. And Frank Chance, while he crushed him in stolen bases, he had 29 through the first 73 games, only had a 519 slugging percentage. So PCA crushing him in the slugging category. He's the only Cub. This is actually a unique stat, and this goes to show you just how interesting his game is. Only Cub in history to have a 550, I say on base percentage. That is supposed to be slugging percentage there. Sorry for the typo. 550 slugging percentage with an on base percentage under 310, currently at 307 through his first 73 games. Only Cub in history to have a 550 slugging percentage with an on base under 310. The next closest to him in this category is going to be Sammy Sosa, Ernie Banks, Henry Rodriguez, and how about Tyler Colvin? Interesting to see him in this category. Through their first 73 games, they all had over 500 slugging percentages with a 310 or less on base, but nowhere close to the 550 slugging percentage. Now, with that being said as well, he is a bad ball hitter, and that's what we're talking about here for a second. So 4 home runs on pitches out of the zone, which you're going to see some of those here right now, but 4 home runs out of the zone, pitches out of the zone. He's second in baseball to only the home run king, Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners, which, by the way, I thought that park was supposed to be hard to hit at. Anyway, 4 home runs, second in MLB right now to Cal Raleigh in terms of balls hit out of the strike zone, out of the park. He's also, in that same regards, third in MLB for extra base hits on balls out of the zone. Second is Cal Raleigh. First is Bobby Witt Jr., and PCA has 9. Bobby Witt Jr. has 12. There you go. He's doing this in a way that he's not just getting pitches in the zone. He's getting pitches out of the zone. So a lot of people, they say, oh, he reminds me of Javi Baez. You just throw him out of the zone and he'll chase it. Yeah, he's chasing it, but he's hitting it. He's hitting the pitches out of the zone. Greg Counsell's baffled by it. After a game, he actually said he is defying baseball odds. You're not supposed to hit home runs on balls out of the zone. That's exactly what Craig Counsell said after a game, but he's doing it. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun, guys. All right. So let's go to the next one. The next one is, to me, the number one reason why PCA is a NL MVP right now, and it's clutch. It's clutch situations like this. Runners in scoring position, a 342 batting average, a 365 on base, and a 747 slug. Guys, that is a 1,112 OPS. with runners in scoring position when you need him the most. No wonder why he's in the top 5 for RBIs so far this year. With 2 outs, runners in scoring position, 310, 356, 548 slug. That's a 903 OPS. Still incredible numbers. Now is when it gets really fun here, because we're not just talking about runners in scoring position or 2 outs, runners in scoring position, but how about when the game is tied, when it's a leverage situation? First of all, I guess overall, let's just do the umbrella of this first. High leverage, important parts of the game. He's got a 932 OPS. Now let's go under the umbrella. Let's look under the hood of the car and see what all goes into that. Well, how about this? Within 1 run, meaning we're either ahead by 1 or behind by 1, he's got an 870 OPS. Within 2, 932 OPS. When the Cubs are behind, an 862 OPS. And when it's a tie game, and we don't know which way this pendulum is going to swing, the dude has over 1,000 OPS, 1,016 OPS. These are the clutch stats that you want to see from a guy that you're going to say at the end of the year, yes, here's his stat line, which, by the way, if you look at his stat line from a batting average, on base, and slugging, OPS, all of that doesn't really even come into the top 5 in MLB and in the NL. But it's those underlying stats. And it's, of course, at the end of the day, F4 is really what you're going to see. Which player added more wins to their team? So far, PCA leads that. But when you look at these stats under the hood of what does he do when the game is on the line, when the game matters, when the team needs a big hit, it's the grand slam against the Reds. It's the 2 home runs against the Dodgers that help you win 4-2. It's the home run that he hit last night against the Brewers when you're up 1 and you're trying to put the game away and a tough lefty is on the mound and you hit it 452 feet off the scoreboard, putting exclamation points on the season. That's what is ingrained in these minds that go to vote at the end of the season. Okay, cool. You hit 40 home runs. Why can't I think of anyone that actually made a difference in the game? PCA may only hit 32 to 35 home runs. I say only, that would be awesome. He may only hit 32 to 35 home runs, but those home runs have been so impactful so far this season that they just are ingrained in your mind. And that's why when they go to vote, these are the things that they're going to remember. Man, did I miss anything? I'm just looking here. I don't think I missed anything. I think those are all the stats I wanted to share with you. What do you think? I mean, this is incredible. This is just so much fun to watch. And oh, by the way, he's going to be a platinum glove award winner. As long as he's playing defense the way he is right now, there's no way you don't give this guy a platinum glove. Platinum glove, if you don't know, one player in the entire league, there's one for the NL, one for the AL, gets you are the best defender in the league. So he could get a gold glove in center field, but a platinum glove means that all 9 on the field, you were the best. If we were to put this in anyone's hand of which player we want the ball hit to that's going to make the catch, you're the guy. He's the guy. I'm sorry. There's no one else. There's no one else and when they make my point there was when they make these determinations, they're going to think about all facets of the game too. That's exactly why you see guys like Fernando Tatis Jr. winning a platinum glove. It's not because he is the best defender. He probably is one of the best, but also he does pretty well on the other side of the ball too. So think about that when you go and you think of who is going to be the platinum gold glove. I keep saying platinum gold glove, platinum and gold glove. Sure. Why not? Oh, by the way, he's also going to be an all-star. He's going to be starting for the NL team in center field. He's number 4 right now in all vote getters in both leagues. He's taking baseball by storm, and it's a damn shame that I don't want to go negative. I'm only going to take 2 seconds on this. It's a damn shame that Tom Ricketts didn't pull out the checkbook and thought to himself, you know what? He had a pretty good second half of the season. And then he looked at Corbin Carroll and he looked at Jackson Churio and he looked at the contracts they signed. And he said, yeah, I think we can actually go under those contracts. Like, why? I don't know. I mean, when we found that out, I was kind of like, oh, that sucks. But who knows? Maybe PCA won't even become a great player. And then he has this. Now you're looking at a $200 million contract. I'm sorry. Like, if you think it's anything under that, if he wins an MVP and then you start talking about contract extensions, This guy bets on himself more than anyone else. Last time I thought about someone betting on themselves is probably Aaron Judge, and look at the contract he got, which was one of the most expensive slash profitable contracts in all of MLB history at the time. And you think to yourself, that guy bet on himself. He denied a contract extension right before the year he hit, I think that was before the year he hit 62 home runs. PCA denied a contract extension, and then he said, watch this. It's fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's so much fun to watch that now I will go ahead and keep this positive. And I want to say thank you to those who went ahead and talked to me on Twitter, because I shared this. If you're looking on the YouTube channel right now, I shared this. Name one player who has had, and let's remove that. Oh, come on. Twitter and your darn pop-ups. Let me refresh this. Name one player, let's see it, who has had a more unexpected, incredible season than PCA for the Cubs. I'll start, and I've got a GIF of Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta was nothing in 2014, went out and posted the best second half that we will probably ever see from a Cubs pitcher and won the NL Cy Young. So thank you to Tej Dawson in 87. McWillie says 1984 Rick Sutcliffe. He had a 5.15 ERA coming over from the Indians, and then he went 16-1 with a 2.69 for the Cubs. Yeah, that's pretty good. Ray, no offense, Ernie Banks, not surprising. We're going to pass by that one, but thank you for participating. Kenny, Kyle Hendricks in 2016. That's a good reference. Very low-key. One of the best pitching seasons in probably Cubs history was Kyle Hendricks' 2016 season. Until the last game, he had an ERA under 2. Ryan Sandberg in 1984 and Sammy Sosa in 1998 says Daniel. Sammy Sosa was surprising in the fact that he hit 66 home runs, but he was still a really good player going into that season. And then Derek Lee says Cassius, and that was probably that, 2005 season, 2004 season? We can't remember which one it was. I think it was 2005. Anyway, thank you for participating on that on X. And I'm just going to end with this. This is a franchise player. This is the franchise player the Cubs have been wanting. This is the franchise player the Cubs have been missing since the departure of Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant. This is a guy that changes the way that you look at this team for the next 5 to 6 years. Coming into the season, if you were to tell me these stats, I would say that's Kyle Tucker all day long. Kyle Tucker turned on the stolen base numbers, which, by the way, he's not too far behind PCA. And I would say, you give me that stat line, that's Kyle Tucker all day long. It's not. It's beat Crow Armstrong. And for that reason, a guy under control for the next 5+ years, and you think to yourself, wow, what can we build around this guy? So my question for you is this. First of all, do we need to re-sign Kyle Tucker? Based on the season that PCA is having, do we need to re-sign Kyle Tucker? Or we all miss Kyle Schwarber, right? Let's replace a Kyle with a Kyle, says Kyle. Didn't plan that one out. Would we replace instead Kyle Tucker with Seiya Suzuki in right field, who's got 1 year left on his contract, and then you've got a number of guys coming up like Owen Casey, Kevin Alcantara, and there's going to be other free agents, and put Kyle Schwarber back in a Cubs uniform, let him hit 40 bombs at Wrigley, and DH him every single day, and you probably save a lot of money because Kyle Schwarber is going to do one thing. He's going to hit. He's not going to play the field. Kyle Tucker, even though he's having a great season, he's probably going to be an all-star. It still feels to us like, hey, we kind of thought he was going to be the franchise player. Doesn't really feel quite like that outside of a few stretches that he's had. And so for that reason, is he going to be worth $400 million? Are you in the same spot based on the performance of Pete Crow Armstrong? That is exactly what I'm not asking. Isolating Kyle Tucker. I'm asking, because of the performance of Pete Crow Armstrong, do you believe that Kyle Tucker does not need to be a Chicago Cub, that he can move on, go to the Red Sox, go wherever, and we can bring back Kyle Schwarber and do this thing again, be the number 1 offense in baseball again, and have a bright, shining future still in the outfield for years and years to come? Let me know what you think. That's going to do it here on the Setup Man. I'm going to go put my arm on ice. PCA MVP, period.